Hey guys, so welcome back to Indirect Knowledge. Now, tonight I have a very special tarot reading, and this reading is for Julia. And so, Julia basically wants to know if she can get some closure. She had a family member that passed away. She discovered the body, and this was back in 2018, and it was someone very near and dear to her. And yeah, she'd just like to get some closure on this. So, before I get into the reading, let me just kind of explain kind of my process and how things work, and to kind of give some insight. So, first of all, let me just start by saying that I'm a monk, and that we live a very monastic lifestyle, and it's very much in alignment with spiritual concepts and ideas and different things on that end. The many times people often think of a monk, and tarot maybe not jiving, so to speak, but it actually really does jive. And let me kind of explain how that works for just a moment, because many of you guys have emailed me or messaged me to kind of get an understanding, more of a perspective on this. Well, here's how it works. So when I was a very young child, about 9 or 10 years old, we had these neighbors that lived up the road from where we lived, and they bought a new car. I just got a feeling when they had that car and they showed that car to us. I just had a really, really bad feeling. That afternoon, I went home from us visiting them, and I fell asleep on a couch or sofa that was in the front room of our house at the time, and I had the worst nightmare. I picked up in this dream that they were going to have a really horrible car accident, that they were going to die in that accident, and that they were going to burn up, and it was just very horrific. And it was like a brother or two sisters. And so yeah, it was very, very traumatizing, especially for someone so young. So I told my mom, I told my brother, and all of this was sort of verified. And they assured me, or tried reassuring me, that it was just a nightmare, that these things really don't happen, that it's just your mind playing tricks on you. All of these kind of things that you would expect a parent to say to a child when that child was very upset, and when the parent was really trying to console the child or bring them comfort, that kind of thing, as parents often do. So about 2 weeks passed, and then that accident happened. They burned up in the car just as I had recalled from the dream, and everything happened verbatim. So that was way back then. Now, I went to an ESP school after that to kind of make more sense of sort of this intuition, this thing I call intuition. And over the years, like many times, what they taught in ESP school is through a lot of research and that kind of thing, that oftentimes children are very psychic and they pick up on energy, and their intuition is at a higher level, I guess, than many adults. And that as you become older and you start to live life a little bit, that you become more reasonable, rational, practical, and so then a lot of that stuff goes out the window. So, that was sort of what was explained to me. But the thing is with me personally, is like, as I got older and as time went on, this intuition really started to take on a life of its own. And so, I started getting more and more insights, more information. I was tapping into energy and stuff. And really, it's almost like a form of hypnosis in a sense. It's like I just kind of get like this, it's almost like a trance-like state, and just things just come to me. And then, oftentimes it's energy that I'm picking up on, or it's like fragments, or sometimes I get clear pictures that will come into play. And then sometimes it's a dream. It could be a lot of different things. But I know, like, just from having done so many tarot card readings and tapping into so many different types of energy, that, I can pretty much predict things, like I can get information and pretty much tell you like what will happen. Uh, doesn't mean that the future isn't subject to change, especially if you get the information ahead of time. I mean, you're free to, we all have free will and free choice. But assuming that I said nothing, this would probably more than likely be the likely outcome. Do I always 100% get it right? The answer is no, I don't. And I know that just from the feedback that I've gotten sometimes from people. So, I mean, I don't make promises or guarantees, but if I had to put it into like a fraction form in terms of, how often I do mostly get information correct from the information that comes to me, I'd probably say close to about 99% of the time. So there's always that 1% chance that does happen to come about. So those are pretty good odds, I would say, as far as like, getting information and things. And even now I get information just at random. I could be in a public place and talking to someone or something, and then I just instantly, I'll get something that just about that person or something that just comes into play. And yeah, it's pretty interesting the way it works. But anyway, enough about that. I just wanted to kind of give a little precedence in terms of like how my process sort of works. So another thing though, that because of this particular question, and it's dealing with the death of a close family member, I do want to also just kind of chime in and say that, I too have had someone very close to me pass away in the not too distant past. And I can tell you that I empathize with you very much. I know how painful it can be to lose someone that you are so close to that you just can't imagine living without this person. So I can share that with you, and I get goosebumps even thinking about it. The pain that comes with loss is something like the loss of a loved one, someone near and dear to you, a parent, is so, you can't even put it into words for other people for them to understand. Unless you actually go through it, nobody else really has an honest clue what you're actually going through. No therapist, no one. So what I would tell you is like what has helped me anyway is remembering that life is transitory. Okay, kind of like with the tarot, we have the cups. Cups are all about relationships, people in our life. Cups are like the water symbol, so it's sort of like the Aquarius energy. And this kind of energy is fluid. I mean, it's always moving. Nothing stays the same. And in this life that we live, the same thing can be said. Like we have so many attachments, like so many things that we become attached to in this life. It's our body, like this has been with me since birth, right? Same thing with you. But even this body, has changed. I mean, it's not the same as it was, 40 something years ago when I was born. It's just life, we get older, we change, life changes, our experiences change. We start to feel our bodies, start to feel differently. Our experiences change. The things that would have suited us, in our early years, those things change. And as depressing as that can sound, there's also some kind of hope in that as well. And the hope comes in that, at the end of it all, like at the end of this life, it's the moments that we had that matter most, right? It's the memories that we've made. It's the affection that we've had for others. It's the love that we've shown to other people that really matter more than anything else. And it's, love is really all about service. It's serving other people. And so if we put our efforts into doing that, what I have found anyway, for myself personally, is that, it's like, it's one of the most beautiful things to be able to help people and to be able to share love with others. And so this person that you discovered at such a young age also, yeah, I mean, it's just, it is so difficult and so hard that unless a person actually goes through it, they will never be able to fathom exactly how you feel and things. What I would say, though, is talking with people really does help. And being open about the relationship and how you felt about that person also really helps a lot. It's more than just idolizing. It's more about just, you can recall the good times that you've had. I'll tell you, for me personally, it was, I had an older family member that survived, and this was someone that this person was younger than that person. This person was more my own age. And when we were having birthday celebrations and other events, like familial type events, it was like a person was gone. And so the event itself was not the same as it was before. So it's like trying to move on was kind of challenging in that regard, But here's the thing. It's like once you get through a few of those experiences and you get a few years behind you, then you start to realize that, new things are coming into play. Life is really about change. And so you're getting the opportunity to have more experiences with other people. Not only that, but, you can really help a lot of people. Like when you do go through something like this, because let's face it, life can sometimes be scary. It can be emotionally distraught. We can be. It can be depressing at times. And there's that whole side of life, this whole polarity of life that would rather seem negative or kind of pointless. And there's all these kind of emotions and things that we can really kind of think about with it. On the other hand, there's the other side of life, the other side of the polarity. And that is a life of beauty. It's a life of artistry. It's a life of helping other people, having other nice life experiences, moving forward with our own life, being able to enjoy the moments that we have as we live them. Not so much reflecting or dwelling on the past, but appreciating the past and the times that we were able to have with those people that we interacted with or that we came into contact with. And at the end of the day, just remembering that nothing lasts forever. And there's nothing wrong with things not lasting forever. Like there's so many things, like this pen, for example. One day this pen here will cease to be in existence. I mean, probably sooner rather than later. I don't know. I guess it would depend on how much I use it. But one day that pen will no longer be. But if you look around you, I mean, like this lamp here, this I've had this for quite some time, but one day this lamp won't exist any longer. The same is true. There is a time for everything. Some things have a longer timeline. Some things have a shorter timeline. We really don't know because we're in the moment. We're not in the future so much. But let's do the tarot card reading and let's get into that. I hope that some of this has kind of helped you a little bit. If you do need any kind of support or you just want a friend or anyone like that, please do reach out to me. I'm telling you, I have a lot of experience with this kind of a situation. So I don't know if you need that or not, but I'm just offering that up to you if you do need it, Julia. Okay, so let's look at this. Okay, so the way I like to do this, Julia, is I like to do the past, the present, and the future. That gives us kind of an understanding of the whole situation. Then we look at kind of where the situation is currently, like the energy surrounding the current situation. Get a little bit more perspective on that. We look at your energy, get a little bit more perspective on that. We look at the outcome, and then we look at what the answer to the outcome is. So let's get started. So the first card is the Queen of Cups. Queens are all about influence. Cups are about relationships. So in the past, this person had a profound influence over you, and they could empathize with you, they could get you, they understood how you felt, they were able to help interact with you kind of based on your emotions and that. And you had a good relationship, a very strong relationship. So this person was a major influence in your life. In the present moment, we have the Five of Cups. So we had the Queen of Cups, now we have the Five of Cups. Now, as you can notice in this card, it's a little bit depressing, right? Kind of an emotional card. This person's not doing so well. They're not too happy. Five right here is all about change in numerology. This is about getting over hurt and then picking up the remaining cups, i.e. relationships, and then being able to carry on. With this card, with the way you're feeling, it's about emotional disappointment, depression, anger. But here's the thing with this particular card when it comes up. This is the thing I really want you to understand, because I know I'm picking up the sadness there, but when this card comes up, most often, the emotions and things that we're feeling, they're on an exaggerated plane of existence. They're more exaggerated. It indicates change. Like things are being moved about fluidly. So you may be up one minute, you may be down the next. You may be feeling, and so it's hard to kind of get that closure that you really need because of these emotions that are going on with it. Nothing wrong with feeling emotion, but just understand that sometimes our emotions do get exaggerated, especially when it comes to the passing of someone near and dear to us. And the next card is the Future card. So this gives us a little bit of hope. This is the Fool. A little dog there, loyal companion. This Fool's about to jump off a cliff. Doesn't even realize it because they're not even really paying attention. But you notice the Sun. The Sun is a good energy. This is the very first card in the Major Arcana. So this is sort of like, as far as our life lessons and everything go, this is where this card is. And I'm picking up about 2 months out that this card starts to come into effect. So the emotions and the things that you're going through right now, it's kind of exaggerated energy that we're getting right now that's coming into play. In the near future and all, a couple months out, about 2 months out, that's when this more youthful kind of energy starts to come about. It represents fresh hopes, pretty much new journey, new direction, and it's where you just pretty much give in and you say, okay, I'm game. I don't know where this journey is going to take me, but so be it. And that's a really empowering place to be at. And when I say that the Fool's about to jump off, that's more like a metaphor. It's sort of like we don't have enough life experiences at this time, to really be able to, make heads or tails of things, to really know 100% like what we're getting ourselves into, to know what the likely outcome is even. And we can listen to other people's advice and we can learn things along the journey. But in the beginning of the journey, we're a little bit naive, a little bit inexperienced. And that's what this is really all about. It's a good card, though, because it helps us along the journey. Without this card, we probably would be too wise or too cautious to even move forward or to be able to, kind of take this journey in the first place. And what kind of life would it be if we played it safe all the time? If we never went out on a limb or took any kind of life experiences or, got out there and, enjoyed life or, followed our dream, followed our heart, help others and do all these kind of nice things that we have the capability to do in this life that we've been given. And so that's where that is. So it's kind of more like fresh energy is coming about with the Fool. So that's coming about 2 months down the line. So that's hopeful. It's a really good card. Now that 5 that we talked about a minute ago, kind of the depressing kind of card where we said that our emotions can be somewhat exaggerated, that kind of thing. The energy that is surrounding that is the best card in the deck. It's the Sun. It's the best card in the deck. Doesn't get any better than this. To have it in your tarot card spread makes a whole tarot card spread magnify in the positive for you. You couldn't have done better to have gotten this card, is what I'm trying to say to you. So this is about a playful energy. No matter how bad things are getting, there are rays of sunshine that are going to illuminate things and make things a lot better for you. It's going to make life easier. And what the Sun does is it kind of teaches us that when we're happy, other people around us start to become happy. And that makes us even happier. And people become sort of hypnotized by our happiness. And that's what's about to really kind of go down at this particular time. As you start to see the next couple of months move forward over the next period of time, 2 months, it's a gradation though. It's like a graduated, kind of a ramping up of happiness. But as you become more and more happy, you become excited about the prospects of a nice future and everything, that energy is going to start to really move things forward for you in a really positive way, because like I said, it really hypnotizes people by your energy. Your energy is going to change and things are going to get really happy-go-lucky, and then you're going to start to have happier days ahead. Many doors are going to open for you as well, and that's going to give you a lot of opportunities that honestly you otherwise wouldn't have had. Now, as far as where you're at, kind of your emotional state and everything like that, you have the Strength card. The Strength card is really about managing our emotions, managing that internal strength within us. And this is an 8. It's about groundedness. So I'm hopeful for you in this regard, because this is kind of like, this is what you're really wanting. Is you're wanting that hope. You're wanting that inner strength to be able to manage and to be able to move forward. And, it's about remembering about our mind as well. Like for one who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. For one who has failed to do so, the mind will be the greatest enemy. That comes from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, verse 6. It's an ancient Indian spiritual text. And we get so enamored in our day-to-day life, what we experience through the 5 senses, that internally, our mind sometimes gets ahead of us and controls us and controls our thoughts. And it's hard to get that monkey chatter, or those thoughts, or those things that keep reoccurring, those patterns of repetition that keep going on and on and on. It's hard sometimes to get those things out of our mind. But the Strength card is where really the desire is to be able to have this great control over our own mind, so that we can control our senses and, be more aware of the positive things in our life and the other directions and things that we have. We have a lot of life to live, and we have a lot of emotional strength that's needed, and that's really what you're desiring. That's really what you're feeling. Now, let's look and shift to the very tail end of this tarot card reading at what the outcome is. So the outcome card that you got is the Two of Cups. Cups are really about balance. Cups are also about relationships. And the Two of Cups it could be a platonic relationship that starts to come into your life. It could also be a romantic relationship that starts to come into your life if it's not already there. And it could even be a professional type of relationship. So it could really be any kind of thing. But what it's going to do is it's going to, maybe a friend I'm almost kind of picking up is coming into your life, someone that you will be lifelong friends with. And it will be a very good relationship, a very strong relationship, someone that will be there for you, someone that will help you, someone that will support you, and bring balance to your life and everything. So I'm really picking that up strongly. What is the answer to that? That's an interesting card to get for the answer. If you look at this, it's about giving, and it's also about receiving, and it's about the scale. So we talked about balance with this outcome card, with this Two of Cups. We see the scale, which is also symbolic of balance. So it's really about keeping a balance in our life. And in this particular case, it's about charity, giving and taking. Notice that both parties are very happy. The people receiving are happy, and the person giving is happy. There's gratitude on both sides. One is grateful that they have the ability to give. The other two are grateful that they have the ability to receive, that someone is there for them to help them out. So it's a really, really good card. So to kind of sum it up as far as this outcome goes, and we're moving in this direction. So like I said, it's kind of this ramping up approach. It's progress over time. And what you'll start to see is that over the next couple of months, you're going to have opportunities that are going to come into your life. You're going to meet people. And one particular person in particular is going to be sort of like a real soulmate to you, someone that you can connect with on a soul level. Share anything with. This person won't judge you. They will love you. They will serve you. They will be there for you. And they will be your well-wisher. And then picking that up very, very strongly, that person will be there for you. They will help you stay grounded. They will help keep balance for you. Likewise, you will do the same for them. And it will be a very balanced relationship, probably one of the most balanced relationships that you'll actually have. So I'm picking up that in about 4 years, you're going to be in a really blessed situation. Mentally, you're going to be in a very, very good place. Like so much luck and everything is going to befall you. Yeah, your life will be so radically different in 4 years from now that you'll just be on a completely different trajectory altogether. I mean, what you're experiencing now, will never go away. I mean, as far as the love that you have for your mother and the feelings and everything that you have, those won't go away. The memories won't go away. There are times all the time, in fact today, that I'm thinking about this person that I recently lost. And, but again, at the end of the day, it really does come down to our own mind, and understanding that, one of the greatest gifts that we're given is love. And, you can think about how much this person loved you and how much you loved this person and how that relationship was sealed in time, and let that give you a little bit of hope. I know what it's like to find someone near and dear to you when they've passed. And I'll just tell you from my own experiences that as emotionally disturbing and psychologically damaging as that can be, I think that, you know, I think that what really helps is to remember that person. One thing I noticed is that I tend to remember a lot of the positive things, positive experiences that I shared. Sometimes something will come up that was less than positive, but oftentimes the things that come up were kind of the more positive, memorable things that we would want to remember about someone. And that's the thing, like, I try to stay away from the thoughts of discovering the person and more think about the times that you spent with that person. It's easier said than done. I know. Trust me, I know. I'm with you there. I mean, it's hard not to talk and get a little bit emotional. But I think if you have some things that you can lean on a little bit, friendship, family, be open to talking about things, and remembering that you shared a very deep relationship, a deep love, a deep bond with this person, and the lessons and that love that you learned are things that you can now take with you into other relationships, into other areas of your life. And in that sense, we're actually taking a part of that person with us as we continue on our journey in this lifetime. So, Julie, I hope this helps you some. If you want to, I mean, just as a friend here, I'm saying, please, I know I'm a monk and everything, but if you'd like to, reach out to me and we can talk about it and connect that way as well. Connection, it really does help a lot. Now, also, being able to talk about that in relationship to other things as well really helps a lot too, I believe. So, like, you could talk about some different things and then you can relate it to the here and now. And that's a beautiful thing, like keeping that person's memory in your mind and being able to honor that person. And then being able to take what you've learned from that person or life lessons, experiences, little things, and being able to put those into nice, into things as you move forward with other relationships and all. It's like you're sharing that person's legacy continues. You did get that legacy card in the tarot, by the way. So that's a really positive thing. So I think for you, it's just like, hang in there. Things are going to be well. And this graduated thing, like in the next couple of months, you're going to start to see a lot of things. And remember, it rarely ever happens, but if you get the sun in your tarot spread, it's bright and sunny days ahead for you. And I can tell you that I'm really picking that up strongly for you. So if you need anything, though, as your tarot coach, I'm always here for you. Please reach out to me. And guys, if you guys want to help the monks here spread love for God and do anything like that, you're more than welcome to donate. We can go to helpbydonating.com. And, these funds are things that we use to help people in similar situations, experiencing similar types of things as the things that we discuss here, helping people with the tarot. So it's sort of a way of giving back in some ways, and it's also a way of being able to help more people. So you can just go to helpbydonating.com and donate there if it's whatever's in your heart. If it's not in your heart, don't donate. No big deal. And then also, if you guys like these kind of videos, of course, please like, subscribe, and share the video so that we can get more people help. Maybe this could actually help other people who have gone through a similar experience, such as what Julie has gone through. And so bring a little hope to someone else. But at the end of the day, this is pretty much where we're at. But like I said, Julie, if you need anything, please reach out to me. I'm here for you. Let me know if you want my direct line, I can give you my direct line, and then you can call me anytime. So, all right, much love, many blessings. I'll see you guys on the next episode of Indirect Knowledge.